what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a giant Lego brick. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. As a matter of fact, you'll only need one colour, and that is your favourite colour. I'm going to be going with red. Red's my favy. Once you've determined what colour you want to make the brick, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You want to start off your Lego brick with a row of 18 whatever wool in a row on the floor. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like so. And once you have your row of 18, let's assume that you've went for red. Once you have your row of 18 red wool, this is what you want to do next. So we have to raise up each one of the end blocks up in the air by 35. That is 35, 35. So let's get started, shall we? We'll start with the left hand side first. So coming up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Ooh, I need that extra lung put in. So, once you have your first row of 35, the next one becomes ever so slightly easier as we can just cheat to make the second one. So coming all the way over to the right hand side of your row of 18, just raise up this block and make it even with the opposite row. So are we there yet? Not quite. Are we there yet? I think so. I think we're even. Or are we one block off? No, we're one block off. So throw that extra one on top. And once you have your two rows of 36, or 35, sorry, it is in total a row of 36, that's where I got confused, 1 plus 35, 36. Once you have your two giant long rows, you then just want to connect them together, top block, to form a big giant rectangle. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. And once you have your big giant rectangle, the first fun part of this tutorial is about to start. We have to fill the entire center of that in with your chosen color, and unfortunately there's no way around this, so we've just got to painstakingly fill all of this center part in with whatever color you're choosing to make your brick. And I don't really want to add an extra 5 minutes onto this tutorial, so I'm going to cut this away, I'm going to fill all of this in, and I'll be back once I've finished it. Back in a moment. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have completely filled in our rectangle with red wool. Once you yourself have reached this point right here, we can now get cracking. So the next order of business, we're now going to make the knobbly bits that sit on top of the Lego brick that allow the bricks to stick to, well, the other bricks. Let's get started. So, come down to the bottom left-hand corner of your Lego brick, where this all began, block number 1. What you then want to do, once you have this block highlighted, is find the fourth block along in the original row. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. You then, once you've located this fourth block, want to go up by 2. 1, 2. You then want to place a block directly in front of it. So in this position, place a block right there. Then place a block going up left diagonally of that block. And then go up by 2. 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal. And then go right of it by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go down by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal and then go to the left by 1 to give you something which should look a little bit like this. And this is just the base shape of the knobbly bit. We have quite a few more of these to do. We actually have 7 more of these. Let's get cracking. So once you have this first one, the next few become quite easy. So come up to the top of the knobbly bit. I don't know what else to call it, by the way, knobbly bit. Come up to the top of the knobbly bit, and starting from this left-hand block, you want to go up above it, and you want to leave a gap of 4. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the gap of 4, and you want to place a block on this 5th block here, so you just want to leave a space of 4 coming up. And then once you've placed this block, you basically want to do the same thing that we've just done here. So up left diagonal by 1, up by 2, up right diagonal, right by 2, bottom right diagonal, down by 2, bottom left diagonal, connect everything together to give you something which should look exactly the same as the shape that we first started with. And of course, once you've done that second one, we now have to do the exact same thing 2 more times. So once you've taken care of the second one, starting with this left hand block, we want to leave a gap of 4 coming up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a block on this 5th block, and then make the circle again. So up left diagonal, up by 2, up right diagonal, right by 2, bottom right diagonal, down by 2, bottom left diagonal, connect everything together. Once you've done that third one, again, exact same thing, starting with this top block right here, this left block, leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th block, place 1, up left diagonal, and I don't really have to go through this again, you just want to make your circle, so you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And just to show you all of these, you want to end up in total with 4 of these circles, and they'll all be spaced out together, equal parts away from each other, no problem. The top one should be 2 away from the top, the bottom is 2 away from the bottom, and they are just spaced apart by 4 evenly. And once you've done that on the left hand side, you now want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the right hand side. So coming down to the bottom right hand corner of your Lego brick, doing the exact same thing that we've just done on the left, you find the 4th block in, coming in from the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You then go up by 2, 1, 2, place a block directly in front of this block that we have highlighted, and then we've just got to make the circle, so going left by 2, 1, 2, up left diagonal, up by 2, 1, 2, up right diagonal, right by 2, bottom right diagonal, down by 2, to give you something which should look a little bit like this. As you can see, it is in the equivalent placement on the right hand side. It should be in line with the circle that you have on the left. And of course, once you've got that first one taken care of, we now have to do the exact same thing with every single one of the others. So starting from the top block here, leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th block, place 1, and then you just follow the exact same procedure that we've done I don't know how many times already. I mean, we're getting a lot of maths involved for me, and I can't do adding, subtracting, counting. It's not my repertoire, so I'm just going to very quickly knock out the rest of these. I feel as though I'm beating a dead horse. I don't think I have to run you guys through the procedure for every single one of these. And as you can see, very quick to do once you know what to do, and you will end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And don't worry guys, we're not finished with these circles just yet. We have to make a couple of modifications to them first. So once you have reached this point right here, in which you have each one of your 8 individual circles, you now want to do this. So I'm going to be starting with this bottom left hand corner one, however you guys can feel free to start where you want to start. So this is what you want to do. On top of the outline of your circle, you want to add 2 more layers of wool directly on top of it. So in total, once you've finished, you want to have a thickness of 3 wool coming out of our rectangle. So instead of just the one that we started with, you add 2 on, we now want to have 3. And once you have added on your 2 base layers, you now just want to fill in this square shape on the outer face of your circle. So you're going to want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. It's kind of like a chunky plus shape. So just to give you guys kind of a diagonal view, this is what you want to have. And of course, once you've done that to the first circle, you want to go ahead and do the exact same thing to each one of the other 7. So you add on your 2 layers of wool directly on top of the circle all the way around, and then you just fill in the center square part to give you your big giant chunky plus. So you just want to do that to each one of the 8 individual circles. So This is going to actually be a little bit of a timely process, and I want to keep this video nice and concise, so I'm going to be back in a moment once I've done this to each one of the 8 individual circles. I'll be back in a moment once this is all done. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've now finished adding all of the necessary blocks on top of our 8 individual circles to give us something which should look a little bit like this. And I realise that this doesn't look particularly good at the moment, but once we've got the sides and the back of the brick all together, it's actually going to look pretty good. So once you yourself have reached this point right here in which you have your 8 big giant plus shapes, this is what you want to do now. So you want to come all the way over to the back of your brick. You want to take each one of the 4 corners of your rectangle and you want to extend them coming towards where the back of the brick is going to be, so in that direction right there. You want to extend it back by 11. So this first corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This other bottom left hand corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And these 2 top corners as well, which are all the way up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this final one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And once you have your 4 rows of 11 wool, you now just want to connect them all together to form a big giant 3D rectangular shape. So just go all the way around in a big rectangular shape and just connect each one of them together. Pig included. Get out of the way, pig. There we go. You're trapped now. And he has a friend. Of course he does. So you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Let me get a better view. Let's get a diagonal view. So you want to end up with a big, giant, hollow looking rectangular shape. And once you have reached this point right here, this is what you want to do now. So we have to fill in each one of these sides, except for this back side. This long back side, we don't have to fill in. However, we have got to fill in this bottom section. That's right, even this bottom section right here. We have to fill this bottom section in. We have to fill in both of these side sections. So this side and this side, we have to fill this in, and we also have to fill the top of the brick in. And as you guys might imagine, and as you're going to experience, it's going to be a lengthy process. So I'm going to cut out the bits where I'm actually filling in these sides of the bricks, and I'm going to be back in a moment once it's all filled in, and we can move on to the final bit of detail that exists on our Lego brick. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've finished filling in each one of those 4 sides of our Lego brick, and this is what I've been left with. For this next part, by the way, you might be able to see that I've added some torches to the inside of the brick. We're now going to build in the circles inside the brick which allow it to stick to other things. So you may want to do yourself a favour. It'll be a little easier to see if you add some light sources in around your brick. So once you guys have yourself filled in each one of these 4 sides, this is what you now want to do. So come inside of your brick and come down to the bottom left hand corner of it where I have this nice little torch here. What you want to do is highlight this block and you want to count in and find the 7th block in coming from this bottom left hand corner. So this is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Once you've found the 7th block, you want to go up from it by 2. So that's 1 and 2. Place a block coming out of that highlighted block. So 7 up by 2, block right here. From this block, you then want to do 2 up left diagonals. So that's 1, 2. Go up from the 2nd up left diagonal by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2. Go right of the 2nd upright diagonal by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals, so that's 1, 2. And then go down from that 2nd bottom right diagonal by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, and then go left of that second bottom left diagonal and connect everything together. You want to end up with this circular shape right here. Very simple indeed. Once you've taken care of that circular shape, we now want to do 2 more of them. So come up to the top of your circle right here. Starting from this left hand block, you want to go up from it and you want to leave a gap of 3 between this circle and the next circle. So 1, 2, 3, place a block on this 4th block right here, and now you pretty much just want to do the exact same thing as you just did just below with this circle. So from this block, do 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, go up on top of the second up left diagonal by 3, 1, 2, 3, then do 2 up right diagonals, 1, 2, go right of the second up right diagonal by 3, 1, 2, 3, do 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, go down from the second bottom right diagonal by 3, 1, 2, 3, do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2, and then connect this block and the first block together to give you the exact same shape that you just formed below it. Just like that, as you can see, just 3 spaces higher. And once you have formed this circle, actually, there is something a little different with this circle. So from each one of the sides, you want to find the 2 middle blocks of the side. So starting on the left hand side here, these 2 middle blocks, you want to extend them each to the left and the right until you hit the sides of your Lego brick. So like this, it's kind of hard to explain, but you guys can see what I've just done there. So you just want to hit the sides, extending from each one of the 2 middle blocks from the left and right hand sides of your circle. So you just want to have that. And once you've just made that modification to the circle, you now want to come up to the top of your circle again, and we just have to make 1 more circle. So starting from this block right here, and just following the same procedure, you want to leave a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3, place a block on this 4th block here, and now we just want to make the exact same thing that we've made 2 times already. So from this block, 2 up left diagonals, up by 3, is that 3? No, 3, 2 up right diagonals, 1, 2, right by 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 bottom left diagonals, and then connect them together. As I said, you've already done that 2 times already, shouldn't be too difficult. And you want to end up with something that should look a little like this. And just to show you the whole thing together, you want to have something which should look exactly like that in all of its zoomed out glory. And once you have your 3 circles, and of course that middle circle is slightly different, as you may notice in these longer Lego bricks, there's a little separation between the circles and the edges in the middle. I figure it's just for like structural integrity or something, I don't know what, there's just like 2 bars of plastic. That's what those 2 rows of 2 are. They're just the bars of plastic that are next to the circle. So once you've reached this point right here, all we have to do now is we've just got to raise these circles out a bit. We've just got to add a few layers on top of these circles. So this is what you want to do. On top of each one of these circles, you want to add 8 layers of red wool, or whatever wool you have. 8 layers of wool directly on top of them. So it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you want to do that with each one of these single blocks, around each one of these circular shapes. However, for these side bars here that we have next to the middle circle, you want to raise these out by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's how far these 2 little bar shapes here on the sides of the circle want to come out. These just want to come out by 5. So I'm not going to do this on recording, it's going to take quite a while. Each one of the circles add 8 layers on top, the 2 bars add a total of 5 layers on top. I will be back in a moment to show you what that should look like. Alright guys, so this is what it should look like once you have fully completed the interior section of your Lego brick. Once you've added on all of the wool onto each one of your 3 circles. Oh, and of course the 2 bars coming out of the middle circle as well. And just to reiterate, on top of each one of the circles you add 8 layers of wool, and on top of the 2 bars you add 5 layers of wool. And once you've finished doing that, you have actually 100% completed your Lego brick. So now the UI's already off, I'm going to give you a nice 360-degree view of the brick just so that you can see what it looks like. I like two views of this brick. I like this view right here, kind of like the back diagonal view, so you can see inside the brick and the side. And I also like when you get to the front where you can see like the front diagonal, so you can see the side and the front together. So almost here, wait for it. I like this view. I think it looks pretty cool. I like this brick. I think it's a pretty simple design as well. I don't think it's too hard to follow, even if this tutorial isn't so easy to follow, and you guys know I always try to make it as easy as possible. I always want you guys to be able to make whatever I've managed to make, of course. However, I think it is easy enough for you guys to follow this regardless, even if the tutorial is a little terrible. Which I don't think it is. I think it's nice and slow, hopefully easy enough to follow. I contemplated making multiples of these bricks, by the way, although I probably wouldn't tutorial them. There's no real point. I mean, what's the point in just making, I don't know, a blue version of this and making a video for it? There really isn't one. Although, I could make some of the individual bricks. I could make like the you know, like the single Lego brick where it's just got like the single circle on top, or I could make the Lego brick that's kind of like half the size of this one, where it's just got like 4 things on top. I don't know, maybe they're too similar. I'm not entirely sure. I'm quite happy with this one though. That's probably enough talking. I'm sorry, I've been warbling on for a little while. So, hopefully you guys have managed to follow this tutorial. Hopefully you're looking at your very own Lego brick. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.